All right, everybody, we're going to get started. I know some people are still piling in, but we are going to keep this on time. We're going to talk email nurturing. In case you're in the wrong place, we're going to build client relationships and increase conversions. Thank you so much for joining us today. A little bit about me. I'm Guy Sakalakis. I'm president at AttorneySync. It's a boutique digital marketing agency. I'm a former trial lawyer. Turned digital marketer, and I do some speculative tech investing in legal tech and advising. So I've been living at the intersection of law practice and the business of law and technology and marketing for about the last almost 20 years, to date myself a little bit. Anyway, that's enough about me. Okay, raise your hand if you use email. Keep your hands up if you hate email. Right. So here we go. We got 92% of U.S. email penetration rate for people over 15 years old. Everybody uses email. 59% of people that use email think that about almost over half of those emails they receive are not useful to them. And so this is the problem. We know that people are using email. We know our clients are using email. Our prospects are using email. Our colleagues are using email. Our referrals are using email. Everybody's using email. And we hate about half the emails that we get. And I'm going to talk about why and how we fix that today. Curious, a couple other questions. Aside from just like using email, how many people are actually sending email campaigns, email marketing campaigns? Couple. Anybody using Clio's new email product yet? Okay, got a couple. Should definitely go check that out. We're here at ClioCon. There are a lot of different ways to send and receive email. But what I'm really going to focus on, and this is a 30-minute workshop, by the way, so we don't have a ton of time here. And so get your notes out. And I would encourage you, if you're already doing email marketing, open up whatever tool you use for your email marketing campaigns. Open up some recent emails you've sent, because I think it'll be helpful to look at and assess your own emails as we have this conversation, and hopefully learn one new thing. And again, it's supposed to be like a workshop-y type of dynamic here. And feel free to interrupt me if anything doesn't make sense. Okay, so the fix, in my opinion, to this problem of everybody uses email, but we hate so much of the email that we get, is that we have to start thinking more deeply about who we're sending emails to and why they would want to receive emails from us, right? So the classic law firm paradigm is, this email marketing thing sounds like a great idea. I'm going to send this firm newsletter out. And, I subscribe to a lot of law firm newsletters because, a lot of our clients have law firm newsletters, and a lot of their competitors have law firm newsletters, and we're always trying to see what's, working out in the market. And the problem is they have one list of contacts that they send the same email newsletter to. And frankly, sadly, a lot of the email newsletters, it's things like, maybe it's like a legislative update or like some kind of practice area thing, or it's about the firm. And the idea is that you send this newsletter out and you're kind of trying to stay top of mind, showing up in people's inboxes. But that's the stuff that people don't like to get. And how do we know this? Because we don't like to get that, right? You don't like to get a lot of the the newsletters and all the spam that we get. And so the fix for this issue is to think more deeply about how do we segment the who we're sending these emails to and why they would want to receive emails from us in the first place. So I've got my virtual email cycle. We'll see if my animations work here. I kind of went crazy with the animation. So the step one is the opt-in. And this is the challenge. How do we get people to actually decide they want email from us? Why should I get emails from you? Like, that should be our mantra. Not I'm trying to hammer you with an email, or I'm trying to get your attention, or I'm trying to stay top of mind, or I'm trying to be in your inbox. You got to think about it from their perspective. Because again, we've all been on the receiving end, right? Everybody had their hands up. We hate email. Why would they want to get emails from you? And then as we start to think about that, why should I keep getting them from you? Because again, email nurturing, in the nurturing concept, this is not a one-time thing. We're not just saying like, oh, I'm going to send you one email. This isn't like, just run client experience in service delivery world. We're in the nurturing relationship and maybe prospects to converting prospects to clients. So like, why on a regular basis would somebody want to get an email from you? And again, it's not because they're like super interested in, not everybody's super interested in the latest legislative update or the thing that's going on at your firm or why you're an awesome lawyer and fight really hard and all that kind of stuff. Put yourself in their shoes and think about why they would want to receive email from you. And then once they're receiving those emails, why would they want to hire you? And this should be, thinking about this through the email nurturing process, like the emails that you're crafting, the sequences you're creating, the segmentation that we're going to talk about in a second. All of these things are matter, and the messaging that you deliver at each of these stages makes a big difference, right? So when someone's in that, someone that we'll talk about is in market, that you're going to give a lot more "why should I hire you" content than someone who's not in market, but it's not the same message for everybody and everybody on a single email list. And then finally, when we get to the end here, when eventually my animations catch up, why would they keep getting emails from you after they hired you and to refer you? And that, the marketing people would call that more of like this loyalty concept. And so show of hands, how many people continue to email clients after representation? Okay, not as many as the people using email. So I think, and usually when we talk to a firm, that is one of the greatest sources of opportunity for improvement in business development, is to find ways to re-engage former clients. And not every practices are all different. All practice areas are different. There's plenty of former clients you might not want to stay in touch with, obviously. But that tends to be one of the single best ways of untapped opportunity in a law firm, is to find ways to re-engage with former clients and a variety of other people that we'll talk about. So that's what we're going to kind of walk through. And again, I would write this stuff down, and I would start with this premise of like who are the people that you would want to get email from you, not who you want to send it to. Who are the people who would want to get emails from you? Okay, so potential clients, right? Somebody reaches out to you and they're inquiring about your services. Maybe they downloaded something from your website, or they saw you online, or it's a referral. Potential clients are obviously they're people you want to receive email from you. Former clients, we mentioned that one. Again, part of the issue here is to start to think about your list and list hygiene of like which former clients actually want to continue to hear from us. Referral partners. How many people have a email campaign set up specifically to stay in touch, top of mind with referral partners on a regular basis? It's great. That's a huge opportunity that not many hands went up. That's a huge opportunity. Campaigns for people that have sent you referrals, other colleagues, obviously lawyer-to-lawyer referrals, but other business professionals, non-lawyer referrals. Those are huge to stay in touch with, top of mind. We'll talk about some of that. Colleagues, right? Just other people that you work with. Friends, that's another one. Like, people don't think like, I'm a lawyer. My friends don't want to receive email marketing campaigns from me. And I think, they're people that already know you, and presumably they're your friends. They like you, and hopefully they trust you. And then affinity group members, okay? And so affinity group members, this idea is that other people that they don't care that you're a lawyer, they don't care about what's going on in your life, but you're in some kind of group together. Maybe I always use this example, I don't know why, I'm not even a cyclist, but maybe you're like a cyclist club in your local community. Or maybe there's a nonprofit that you're passionate about supporting. So that's what we mean by affinity group members. There's some interest, common interest, cause, passion that these people have, and they want to receive emails from you. Again, not your firm newsletter, but they want to hear about like what you're doing, like where are the next events in this. Well, I see you at the cycling event. Well, I see you in the cycling club. Well, I see you at the nonprofit event. And you should continue to do this kind of like, who are these people that would want to receive emails from us? And mind map it, write it down, brainstorm it. But start with that and start to build these different groups of people, because then you're going to apply that to list building in your email marketing. And then we're going to get into the why, okay? And so again, when lawyers, we think like, well, why would people want to receive email from us? It's like, well, we're super smart and we know about the law, and so we're going to send them like stuff about the law. But people want to hear from you in other ways, right? There's other reasons why people would actually want to receive an email from you. I said the learn one, right? So we'll show some examples, but learning something from you because you're a respected leader in your field. certainly one reason people would want to receive emails from you, especially if they ask, they're in a nurture sequence because they are a prospective client. Like they want to know more. They want to know more about how you're going to help them solve their issues and the concerns that they've got in their life legal situations. Guess what? Some people just want to laugh, right? Like it's okay to be funny. I think this is when lawyers, as a lawyer, I feel like I can say this. Lawyers, like, it's okay to be funny. It's okay to laugh. Like, you're human beings. And guess what? The best way to empathize and endear and connect with somebody is like through humor. And so not everything has to be expertise content and how hard you fight and, how many years you've been practicing and where you went to law school. Sometimes you can actually have some fun with it, and people like that, and people like to laugh, surprisingly. A giveaway is another huge one, right? So if you're brand new to this concept and you're let me just do a show of hands just so I can get some audience sense here. How many of you serve local communities versus yep, okay. And how many are like direct to consumer versus selling to businesses? Yep, okay, good. So a lot of people come to me and they'll say, look, we don't have a list, or we've got a list and it's a mess. How do we start to get more people in our local community? And so things like giveaways are really powerful. I'll show a couple examples of that. But again, a lot of people, they don't even think like, oh yeah, that's right. We could do some kind of giveaway or contest or something in the local community that people would actually subscribe to get message for. And then again, they're there to get that giveaway, but you've got their opt-in email permission now to send them regular emails. You make that part of the the checkbox for the opt-in. And so you're giving them the content on giveaway, and then you can also sprinkle in some of that other content, but the focus is the giveaway. People want to get that because they want to win the giveaway. Staying in touch is an obvious one. So I think sometimes lawyers tend to overthink it, and they're like, I got to write a treatise on this thing in my email, and it's like, no, you can actually just be like, hey, I just wanted to check in. How are you doing? Staying in touch is a reason people love to stay in touch, and email's a great way to do that. Obviously, refer, right? So some people want to get emails from you because there's a referral relationship there. And then obviously, as we get lower in the, marketing people call the lower in the funnel, bottom of the funnel, people that are actually going to hire you. And some people just want to connect, right? They just like want to connect with you on a different level. Okay, so now we're going to start thinking about building a list. So what can we offer people they would actually want to get via email, or at least be willing to get? Again, some of this stuff is going to be, you're going to be like, all right, Guy, it's a little bit hyperbolic here. Like people don't really, we already told you we hate email. But they might be at least willing to get an email from you because maybe it's the giveaway or something. But those are the things I want to think about when you're starting to build these lists. So let's start with this in-market bucket. So we're going to define in-market as people who are actively looking for your services. Maybe they're doing research about life legal issues, but they think they need a lawyer like you. So they're in-market, they're actively looking. And I'm going to use this example from STG Divorce Law Guide, which is their email. So, they've got this free master email guide to navigating your divorce journey. You sign up for the form, and so this is the learn context, right? So someone actively looking in a learn context, fill out a form, get the free resource, and that becomes an email nurturing campaign. And I'll tell you also, if you need inspiration, I'm a marketing person, so I will tell you, don't copy your competition, but definitely learn from them. Sign up for other lawyers' email sequences. Same thing with marketing in general. Like, there's a lot to be learned. I wouldn't copy it, but if you have no idea how to do this stuff, use STG as an example. Go sign up for their email nurture sequence. It's very tangible when you actually receive the emails, to be on the receiving side of it, to get like kind of what's going on. So I encourage you to do that in terms of researching for inspiration. So just going to call out, this is an example this is what happens after you fill out that form. The first thing, this is a huge learning best practice point here, personalization. You've got to personalize things. We're going to talk more about personalization in some of the other contexts of email, but it's like a no-brainer table stakes that you want to address the email to the person. And a lot of these platforms allow you to do that in an automated fashion, especially if you're capturing that email through the form. The second thing that I put in here is leading with empathy. Again, I think we know this. We've heard it. I've heard it from stages several times. Some people, when you're helping them, they're dealing with the worst situation of their life. Lead off with empathy. This is not that you don't go from like get my free resource on learning about divorce to sign up for a free consultation for divorce. Lead with empathy. The second one, and again, this might not be applicable for your situation, but find ways to share experience. So in this case, this lawyer went through a divorce himself, and so shared experience, very personalized connection point. Again, you might not have that shared experience, but find ways to share experience. Maybe you talk about your experience helping other people with similar situations, and then give options. So, help guide somebody towards a direction so they've actually got some kind of option. Marketing people will talk about like calls to action and stuff. I prefer options because you want to make it so that people have choices and you're guiding them down a path. And then, of course, down the same way that was being presented earlier about your website, make sure you've got your expertise content in your email as well. And so in this case, P.S. we wrote a best-selling book on divorce. If you wrote a book, great thing to talk about. There's an opportunity to get the book, so it's another action to take. But positioning yourself as an expert on your subject, but that's not the only thing, right? That's kind of like the last thing after you've empathized, after you've shared experience, after you've given some options. And that's just the first email in that nurture sequence. And again, I encourage you to go sign up for that and download and look at local. I think looking at local competition for inspiration is very helpful as well. Okay, so not in market people, they're not looking for your services. And this is the one, the in market people, I think most lawyers, they get that one. They're like, oh yeah, they're looking for it. They come to my website. I've got people would call it a lead magnet or whatever. And they're in market. We're going to turn those potential clients into clients. Like that's the classic like email nurturing sequence conversion. But the untapped opportunity here, in my opinion, from what I've seen in the marketplace, is the not in market crowd, right? They're not looking for your services. They're not looking to hire you. And a lot of lawyers say, well, why would I send these people email? Like, why would I do that? And let me show you why. First one, this idea of a local ticket giveaway. So this is the Vance Law Firm. Again, you can go look, you can search on, I think I pulled this from Facebook. I don't work with them, but I just pulled an example to use from. They're giving away free tickets, hospitality passes, parking passes to Auburn versus Georgia. And so for that local community, for the raving fans about this is something that people would sign up for, right? Get the ultimate Auburn football game day experience. And again, people will say, look, that sounds expensive. Like can't buy tickets. Think of other local giveaways. Maybe there's a restaurant in your community that people are passionate about and you're going to give away a free dinner. It doesn't have to be an expensive thing, but you're going to do something. And again, if you serve a local community, partner with a local business or a local nonprofit or some passionate, cause or organization that you're involved with. That's that idea of this affinity group. And you're going to find people that resonates with, that are going to be willing to be like, hey, you know what, I'm going to sign up to get this. And you might say, well, I'm still not making the connection between like, I'm going to give this giveaway and I'm going to get people on an email list. How does that have to do with practicing? Because again, now they're on this list. They've given you permission to send them email on a regular basis. And you have other opt-in things, if you can read the fine print there, but really it's about the content and setting expectations that you're going to get more regular local. Maybe it's a nurture sequence about Auburn versus Georgia. So, you talk about the history of the rivalry, who's your favorite player, that kind of stuff. But also in those emails, you've got your expertise content, you've got a byline, maybe you've got we wrote the book on this subject matter. So you mix that kind of stuff in. So local ticket giveaways, local restaurant gift cards, local sponsorship contests are really powerful. Here's an example from Cooper Hurley Injury Lawyers. They do two that I think are really impressive: vote for a cause and vote for a school. So, they basically solicit people in their local community, be like, hey, cast a vote for a cause that you're passionate about. That part of that's an email sign up. You submit content, you can submit user-generated content or vote for a local school. So those contests, those are things that the community can really rally around, and you build a list from that. Local scholarships are also another way. I think the SEO community has abused the scholarships for lawyers type of thing for the links stuff, but localized scholarships, especially if it overlaps with something that you practice. So, I'm just making stuff up on the fly here, but if you do like, a local, we'll use Hodges here, personal growth through leadership scholarship, supporting the local community, youngsters in the local community. Maybe it relates to an affinity group that you're involved in. You give a scholarship to reward somebody in that group. That's a great way to build a list. Okay, another one is back to this learning. So anybody here do like online educational webinars? A couple people. This is the kind of stuff that's really, really effective for list building. So I think they're doing this through the Zoom registration, but essentially you're going to conduct a webinar, but instead of just being like, I'm just going to broadcast the webinar, I'm actually going to collect registration via email and same type of thing. You've got people that are interested in, for a variety of reasons, they're interested in this subject matter. Maybe they're dealing with the subject matter. Maybe they know somebody's dealing with it, but especially if you do this on a local basis. They register and then you can give them email content. So again, this is the learn context. I want to learn more about this subject. People are very qualified because they're self-selecting to register for the webinar, and now you have opt-in permission to send them email. So this is I was saying this is the educate context. Share your interest. Ken Levinson, he does an online book club, and he takes that to like register for the book club, and then we're going to meet on I think it's maybe it's a monthly basis to talk about the books that we read. So again, affinity audience, so you'd be people that are reading in the community. I think the more that you can do that on a localized level, where you have passion about whatever it is, the better it will do. And again, you're staying top of mind. Your shared affinity interest. People want to receive those emails. All right. Probably the hardest, so I threw a lot at you there. The hardest thing probably for many of you, if you have an existing list, is this idea of segmentation, which is really organizing your list. And honestly, I don't have a really, super AI, fast, efficient, automated way to do this. You have to understand your contacts. And if you've got a raw list, I would start using your marketing automation tool to send out, ways to prompt people to gather more information. If you only have an email, because again, you can't personalize if all you have is an email list. Without a name, you want to have birth dates. Now, for clients and for potential clients that have gone through your intake process, you probably have a lot of data, and it's really just a cleanup. Like you need to be able to make sure that all that data is properly entered into the CRM. Maybe it's tagged, but organizing and segmenting your list, that's the key to start being like, all right, we're going to send certain emails to these groups and certain emails to these other groups, but it's really, really important. And again, this is from HubSpot State of Marketing report. Segmented emails give 30% more opens and 50% more click-throughs than unsegmented ones. And this goes back to the same idea. You can't send the same email to everybody. You can't send the Auburn versus Georgia ticket giveaway to me as a Michigan fan. I know, I'm sorry. 78% of marketers report that subscriber segmentation is the most effective strategy used for email marketing. So again, we know that segmentation is a huge part of the solution to this idea of everybody uses email, but everybody hates half their emails. It's because we're sending emails to people that don't want those emails because our lists aren't segmented. We just have one list. So don't send all the emails to all of the people. There are three kind of big buckets that most of the email marketing automation tools have. Lists, you have email lists, you have tags that you can add to contacts in lists, and segments. So lists are a collection of email addresses, like for examples, we use the webinar attendees or the giveaway applicants. Tags would something be like on that list, we're going to tag certain people who have indicated that they would like a follow-up, or maybe we tag like past giveaway winners so that we can have different messaging or reach out to them maybe on the anniversary of like they're winning the giveaway. And then segments are groups of contacts that are based on certain conditions. So, there might be like, there's a segment of an email list with certain tags that's like people that have opened our emails over the last 30 days, or more importantly, who hasn't opened an email in the last 12 months. We're going to send them a different message. And maybe even from a list hygiene perspective, say, hey, if you really don't want to receive emails from us, if you don't click this link or reply to this email, we're going to take you off the list, because list hygiene is really important. Again, back to the idea, you don't want to send emails to people that don't want to receive them. And most importantly, it's not about just like our natural minds are like, grow your email list, get more people on the list. It's not about the size of your list. It's about the whether that match between the who and the why that's going to make your email list more effective. Because again, they've still got to open the email, they've got to want the email, they've got to not want to click the spam button. So you want to think about it from that perspective. So again, don't send the same. The wrong way to do it is send the same boring message to everyone in our database. I want to give a shout out to Charlie Mann at Red Kraken Creative. He's got a lot of great resources on email marketing. But you can do all sorts of segmentation. You can segment by subscription reason. That was like back to the why they signed up. But you can also segment by demographics, location, email behaviors, the organization. So like maybe if you're a part of an affinity group, like maybe you've got like people I met at ClioCon in 2025. Like that might be a way to segment a list so that you can reach out to people and be like, hey, are you going to ClioCon 2026? Let's meet up. And how we met, another example of that. Okay, so components of high impact emails, use your name, subject, maybe use their name in the subject, and then the pre-header. And by the way, Chris Early, I think he's in here. He's a great, go sign up. There he is in the back. Go sign up for his email from his website. He does a really, really good job of email marketing. So again, just calling out, like, these are the basics of email. This is how it shows up in everybody's inbox, just to call that out. But Chris does a really, really good job in a lot of different ways on email. The first is, he's branding it, right? I think the branding is still very, very important. A lot of people in the email marketing world, they've switched completely to these non-branded email messages. You should test this for yourself with your own list, but I think it's important to continue to brand. The second thing that he does, of course, is the personalization aspects to it. So, this is still part of the branding, but there we go, personalization. So he's sending it, he's addressing me by name. This is from Stanford's Business, Personalization Email Marketing, the rule of non-informative advertising content. Short version here is that adding names to the message recipient in the email subject line increases the probability of opening it by 20%. So again, you got to find ways to be creative with it, but putting actual recipient names in the subject is very powerful in terms of improving that open rate. Chris, there's a bunch of different stuff from Chris in here. He's talking about referrals. He's got other media sources that he does. So that's the other thing that I think is really powerful. Like, don't think that email is just for email. If you do a podcast, reference the podcast. If you have a book, reference the book. Get people to take action from the email across the different media properties that you have. Maybe you have a YouTube channel. Maybe you're active on social media. Don't just put the little icons for the social media in. Actually, call out some of the content that you're talking about, highlight it, give people a reason to want to go engage more. And the more relevant that is to the reason that they're on the list, the more effective it's going to be. So using that, just the example we talked about before, maybe it's like you've got a YouTube clip of some Auburn, Georgia tailgate that you were at or something like that you send people to connect, and it's relevant to that giveaway concept. And then the other, of course, if you're doing charity work in your local community, highlighting that. People love to support local businesses, local charities. Highlight that good work that you're doing in the community in your email messages. Because again, that's the stuff that people gravitate around. They actually like to see that you're supporting that. It's not hit people over the head with free consultation. I work super hard and I've been doing this forever. It's much more about the things that resonate with the people in the local community. It's got a quote of the week. Core values, events, that's another one too. It's a huge missed opportunity. If you do a lot of event, maybe you do speaking, or maybe you're part of leadership in organizations, tell people where you're going to be so that they can see you, right? So again, for Chris, I knew, I get his email, I knew he was gonna be at Clio. I'm got to make sure, send a message, make sure I see you at Clio to say hello. That's a really, really powerful way to use email as well. And then of course, you've got your calls to action, talk about what you do, your expertise content, additional free resources, and of course, email byline for contact information. You should test different versions of this, but you definitely want to make sure you make it easy for people to contact you and make it clear what it is that you do. Okay, so a lot of people say, Guy, can't I just have AI write all my email content? And the answer is, if you can use AI to write email content the way that Chris just did it, go for it, right? If your AI can call out all the events that you're going to and highlight reviews that you've received and the good works in your community, go for it. The truth is that it probably can't. Now, maybe the AI can help you start to get ideas for ideation. You can craft from that or help you tell a story or clean up your writing or something. But don't think that you're just going to be all right, I'm going to automate this email thing. All you're going to get is a lot of unsubscribes and spam reports. So what the bots can do, they can do autoresponders. Responding to inquiries super fast is really important. Acknowledgement, giving alternative options. You can do date-based automation, so birthdays, anniversaries, awareness campaigns, that can all be automated. And conditional follow-up sequences based on behavior. So if this group gets this automatically because they opened the email or they clicked on this, those are all fair game for automations. But the writing itself, you got to make sure that it's real. Just another example of again, people want to get this. You can set up all of your contact records, simple, wish them a happy birthday if you've collected their birthday information. And that's why collecting some of that information in your CRM is so important, so you can actually do personalized date-based emails, really, really powerful, and a lot of that can be automated as well. And again, you can automate every kind of holiday that you want to participate in. So, you can just go and pull all the federal holidays or ones that you want to highlight. Those are all date-based. You can send those. You can make them creative, make them funny. That's a great way to stay top of mind, not a heavy lift, and can be completely automated. And then, depending on what practice area you're in, you might, if you're a PI lawyer that does motor vehicle, you might do like some of these PSAs. There's awareness months. You can have whole email nurture sequences about PSAs, talking about how you're an advocate for safety. And again, just some examples there. You can get these slides, so I don't belabor that too much. Last minute, as I'm running out of time here, spam, nothing I've said is spam. Nothing I've said is an unwanted email. Some kind of marketing message that people are going to click the spam button on. Well, some people, even people that opt in, sometimes they click it, but your spam rates stay low. It's not going to become a problem. And then I felt obligated to say one thing about canned spam compliance. Again, the FTC puts out a full guide on this, but all the stuff that I talked about, none of it's going to run afoul of canned spam rules. There's no deceptive subject lines. You're not, creating ads in the context that they're thinking about. Of course, include your location. Tell recipients how to opt out if you're doing, regular email campaign. And then honor opt-out requests, but most of the software handles that. I put a link in there for that. I'm out of time, but I'd be happy to take any questions you have. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you all learned at least one new thing from this.